What's up, y'all? We are back, episode 6 of the Twins Out of the Park Baseball 24 playthrough. And we are at opening day. The rosters are all set up, I believe. Yep. So, first thing I want to do is go through our minor league system because I've kind of glanced over this in previous episodes. We are ranked 4th overall. We don't have anyone in the top 25, although we have number 25, Sawan Huang, who cracked the opening day roster as our 5th starter. We'll see what happens with him. We gave him a pretty decent contract for having no MLB experience, but I'm excited for him. And then you could see like the rest of we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 guys in the top 100 and 12 guys in the top 200, including Carson DiMartini, who was our first round pick last year, who I really like. The OSA loves and had a pretty big year in A-ball last year. So excited for him. A couple of guys who are getting closer that are almost in the majors. Adrian Placencia. I'll eventually get that. But spent 159 at-bats last year in AAA and crushed it. Had a pretty good spring. But I held him back just because, we give him a little more time in AAA to play a little bit more. So, Manuel Rodriguez also had a big spring. He's going to be kept back just to work on his strikeout rate and hopefully get that up to a playable level. Alejandro Hidalgo, who slots in at number, 71, had a nice spring as well. We'll start the year in AAA. Denzer Guzman will start the year in AA. We got him in that trade with LA. That's looking pretty okay. We gave up Nick Gordon, which is the big one. He's still in LA. Has been pretty productive there for a couple of seasons, or a season and a half, I guess. Also gave Kenta Maeda, who, pitched pretty well for them. And Simeon Wood Richardson, whatever, and Urbina, who is still with the Angels. I think I want to go do like an episode and check around the league because there were some big moves. I was actually looking at getting Steven Strasburg, having the Nats retain all of his deal, and he wound up getting traded. So that was interesting, to say the least. So, I guess we'll go through opening day here and then see what happens. And Roberto Perez, I should probably show you the opening day roster. It's not too surprising. Jefferson Morales makes it as our righty bat. He'll platoon with Stevenson in right field. Start the year, Drew Waters will mix in as well. And it looks like Drew Waters isn't playing a ton, but I'm having Brooks Lee play a lot of third as well as Austin Martin. It's kind of a weird setup here, but it'll make sense hopefully once the year starts. Pretty straightforward. Shoemake is the starting third baseman. Had a nice spring. No worries there. Austin Martin didn't play a ton in spring. He got hurt, but he makes the team. He'll make his MLB debut when he eventually gets out there. And Roberto Perez is our backup catcher. The only surprise in the pen is that Hentages got hurt. I should also say DJ LeMahieu got hurt, which allowed Austin Martin to make the team. And Hentges got hurt. He's out for 3 more days. So that allowed Louis Varland, who had a really, really nice spring. And, he's been sitting down in AAA for a couple of years. We're finally going to give him a shot and see what he can do. He'll be our long guy to start the year. And then, really no other surprises. Griffin Jax is out of options, so he makes the squad. But he was good for me last year, so I'm willing to give him an extended look up here. And then no other real surprises. So there we go. Let's go through opening day and see what happens. We lose 6-0. So Buxton, a couple of hits, Wallner a hit, and Vologin with a hit. But Nola gets roughed up, and our big free agent that I got no bidding war for, Scott Efros, gives it a couple runs. But Varland makes his MLB debut, I think. No, he was with the Twins a couple years ago. That's sad. I kind of kept him down here. He's been waiting, but he gets some action. So Yeah, let's send him on a rehab assignment. So yeah, that's opening day, and yeah, we'll pick up when something exciting happens, I guess. Wow. So we're about 9 games into the year, and Carlos Correa just broke a bone in his elbow, so he's out for 6 months. That would put him at mid-October at best. Return date. So if we make the World Series, Carlos Correa will be here. If not, broken bone in his elbow. He will be out for the rest of the regular season, barring some kind of miraculous healing. So that complicates things for us. Shoemake will step in as the shortstop, I guess, and then, don't really. I guess we'll slide Brooks Lee to third, and we'll make the outfield work for now. But that's a huge loss. The guy who's been the heart and soul of this team for the last 2 years. Catastrophic injury, and yeah, that just really sucks. So yeah, but we will move on and see if we can recover from this. So we'll be back when something happens. Okay, so we are at the halfway point in the season, and the Twins sit at 39-41. Yeah, it's been as bad as it looks. A miserable stretch. Highlighted by the utter collapse of Joe Ryan, who finally hit rock bottom with a 7-run in 4 1/3 innings, boosting his season ERA to 9.27. He had pitched 11 starts, and at that point I was like, screw this. He's out. So Cole Henry's in, Bailey Ober's in, Huang, and then, it's pretty much that crew. As you can see, Hench's has been horrible. His ERA was actually up way above 9 for a while. Aiken has not repeated his All-Star season. Called up Matt Cantanero just to get some kind of maybe something to work out. He's been good. Efros has been the one bright spot of this, middle relief group. And then Hernandez, Moran, Duran was pretty bad for a while, but he's just won pitcher of the month, I think. And they've been fine, but overall the bullpen ranks 10th in ERA. We wound up, let's see, what have we done? We DFA'd Joe Mantiply. He had a 6 ERA. I trust Hench's more than Mantiply to turn it around, so that's why he was DFA'd instead. Let's see, what else? We wound up releasing Griffin Jacks. He was horrible. And, he got about 25 innings and just could not get anyone out. The rotation has been a little better. Nola's been fine. Fried's been good. Henry's been good in, he got hurt for a while, but he's been good in, the swingman role. Ober's been pretty bad. And Huang was really good to start, and he's gone on a really rough patch, as you can see. But I still have hope for him. But, he's still my third best pitcher in my rotation by far. And, we talked about Joe Ryan. The hitting has not been a ton better. As you can see, we called up David Garcia, who we signed as a minor league free agent. And, he's been good in limited playing time as our backup catcher. May as well go to our starting catcher, Daniel Villagian, who defense deteriorated, and he's been no good at the bat. So that's not looking great. And I believe the last time I checked in, Royce Lewis is killing it. That figures. So he's actually doing way better than he was previously. So that looks like it's been a horrible trade, unless some of those pitchers come through. But it was not the best. Byron Buxton's been fine. We probably could use more from him. Brooks Lee has been also fine. Definitely neither of these guys as good as last year, which has been kind of a theme because Jorge Polanco, again, not as good as last year. He got off to a dreadful start. He's actually just DHing at this point. I gave up on his fielding because, he's just been no good for a couple of years. DJ LeMahieu was my utility guy when he got off the DL. And he's been good. He's been one of my better hitters. But, he's playing every day, which I didn't want to do. Matt Wallner's taken a big step back from the last 2 seasons. His ratings have also gone down, it looks like. Jose Miranda's been better than he was last year, but not as good as he was his first year. Brandon Shoemake's been one of the pleasant surprises. He got off to a bad start, but he's WRC plus a 90, which with his glove, I will take all day. He's on pace for 3.5 WAR. Jefferson Morales, who's been mostly playing against lefties and been hitting lefties well, and playing a lot of left field for us with some guys out, and he's been okay. He's been fine. Andrew Stevenson got off to a really good start and has cooled off a ton since. Not sure what I'm going to do with him yet. We will see. We called up one of our top prospects, Adrian Placenia, who was starting at second for a while. I moved him to the bench. Now he's playing just a couple times. He's getting a little work in left field, sorry. And Drew Waters, who's out of options, but he's on the team mostly because he can play kind of center field when Buxton needs a day. So, he's been disappointing. And then, so overall, the team's been pretty bad. Luckily, the Guardians aren't exactly running away with the division, and the wild card's still in reach here at the halfway point. But, man, we need to these guys need to start playing better or I don't know. We're going to have to make a move or something because, we're not necessarily putting all of our eggs in one basket here, but, we made a lot of moves in the offseason, like Max Fried, bringing in some other guys like Velijan. They haven't really worked out. Fried has, but overall the team has not worked out, I should say. Huang's been good. Honestly, all the guys I brought in, minus Velijan, have been good. So we need a plan here. We do have our ace in the hole, Emmanuel Rodriguez, who I might just call up at this point because we need some offense. And, Andrew Stevenson and this outfield bash of players is not exactly working at this point. So, I'll probably call him up in the next couple of days, but we'll move toward the trade deadline and then get back to you guys where we are at that point. Okay, so we just got here to the first-year player draft, and I just found one of the most interesting players and evaluations of ever. So we have the 33rd pick in the draft, and I come across this guy, Jack Cauer, who's 22 years old, just had a horrible year in college. However, go to the OSA, and they think this guy's a nobody, whatever. My scout thinks he's ready to pitch right now in the majors. My scout has very high accuracy on him, and it's just such a different player. It's bizarre. I don't know if anyone else has ever seen this big of a difference before. I would tend to believe the OSA after his garbage season, but also, my scout's really good. I put a lot of money into scouting amateurs, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and take this guy because, what the heck? We have the 33rd pick. There's not really anyone else too interesting here. If this is true, if this guy can step in my rotation tomorrow and pitch. So bizarre. I'm drafting him. I don't really care. Let's go for it. And I'll send the rest of the draft off camera, and we'll check in there. All right, so we are here on deadline day, and I don't even think I'm going to make any moves. I did make one trade. It was for Christian Vasquez, coming full circle. After we flipped him for Aaron Nola, let's see, about a year and a half ago at this point. So we traded Jose Rodriguez, who's pretty decent prospect, but hasn't done anything in rookie ball, and Yilber Herrera. So a couple of dart throws for the Astros, and we get Christian Vasquez, who, the catcher spot's been a black hole. At least our starter was. But now with David Garcia, who's been awesome, and Christian Vasquez with the defense, the leadership, I think our catching our catching tandem's pretty set up. Also, we did call up Emmanuel Rodriguez. He was much better for a little bit, but looks like he's kind of fallen back. I'm going to keep putting him out there because we don't really have a better option at this point. Drew Waters sticks with the team somehow. I almost traded him, but he'll hang around for a little bit. Adrian Placenia has been on fire. He had this one game where he had 4 hits, two home runs. And, he is here and here to stay, hopefully. DJ continues to hit well. He's playing some first base because Jose Miranda is out currently. He probably didn't need to go on the IL, but he wasn't really hitting too well, and I wanted to give I like this lineup better, quite frankly. So, I don't know. Miranda might be the odd man out when he comes back. We will see about that, but I'm going to end the episode here. Thank you very much for watching. Next time, we will get into the second half of the season and go into that. So, this might have been a shorter one compared to the last one, but yeah. Thank you very much. Subscribe, like if you're interested, and we'll see you next time. Bye.